Welcome to Design to Share Q&A. I'm Erwin.
And I'm Nicola. Today the question is, how can I make my dining room special?
Well, first of all, we need to establish that the dining room is indeed a very special place, and it should remain such a special place. So many people are getting rid of their dining rooms, converting them into dens, bedrooms. They just don't feel that it's that usable, largely because it's so seldom used. They feel that it's used on Thanksgiving, Christmas, and just certain holidays, but it really shouldn't be.
And, with the use of like family rooms, they're kind of been swallowed up. But really, to maintain the dining room, I think, it's lovely to get together and have that intimate feeling, as opposed to rooms being open to the rest of the house.
Right, and it can be quite versatile. I mean, the dining room has a table and it has seating. So many times you actually sit around a table, whether it's working on a laptop or writing a letter or playing a game.
Yes.
The dining room could be designed in such a way that it's not just quite so formal.
Right.
We think of dining rooms, I suppose, in shows like this especially, as being sort of very sort of formal, traditional, theatrical. But it can be all of that, but it can also be contemporary and it could be quite relaxed too.
Yes, and in fact you did sort of a library come dining room for one client, which was very successful. They displayed their books and it was sort of multi-purpose room.
Absolutely. I mean, you can set it up as a library and you can use the table to work, and you can even have a flat screen TV, which is just so useful these days.
Yes.
Rather than trying to conceal the old-fashioned tube TVs. Putting out a TV, it's not expensive, and you can use the room for most of the year as a library, and then you can just rearrange the room and use it as a dining room when you need to.
And also it's nice if you can have a table that's versatile, so that you have a few leaves that you can kind of take out as and when you need them, or include them for holidays. And what I also like is, if the space allows it, if you can have a circular table, this is very conducive to having a conversation with guests.
Yes, and some circular tables expand differently. A smaller circular table can expand with leaves, which is called a racetrack shape oval, as opposed to an egg shape oval, an elliptical oval. And then it can have perimeter leaves, as well as leaves that are like pies, like insets, like pies, which is an old English Gillows table that had that, which is quite wonderful. I mean, they're quite expensive, but they're terrific designs and terrific ways to use tables and different types of tables, and the room can really be quite flexible.
Yes.
Up until the Second World War, a lot of the very fancy homes in New York especially had smaller tables for just the intimate family, and of course they had help that could do this.
Right.
And the tables were expanded depending on how many people were for dinner that night. And you would have a tiny little table in the center of a very large room, the chairs around the perimeter of the room, and the family still felt that they were having an intimate dinner. And also the room could be used for cocktail parties.
Yes.
So it was a reception room that was with a smaller table in the center
Right.
table, essentially, as you say.
And let's not forget about the seating in a dining room. It's great, there is generally a rule of thumb with seating that for however many people your living room could seat, you should have the same number around your dining table.
Right, and of course, always you can have folding chairs, but if you want to, certainly the chairs that are in your kitchen, let's say, could be used in your dining room. So when you actually buy your kitchen chairs,
have a little thought.
Have a thought that it might connect or it might relate in some way.
Yes.
So that you don't go sort of too extreme in one particular style, and that it can be used, or perhaps it's a desk chair in a bedroom. That could, a pair of desk chairs, one in each room, that could be brought in as additional chairs into the dining room. Of course, in this dining room, what's really cool, we have a sofa that's quite high, and that can be used as additional seating. And it's great to have like sort of 3 or 4 kids or people who know each other quite well, or will get to know each other quite well, all squeezing together on the sofa. It's a lot of fun. Also in this dining room we actually have a bar cabinet, creating a more versatile situation that the room could be used. I mean, just as we're sitting here, this table can be used either for display of collections, or it could be used to work on, or it could be used for dining, of course. The room could be moved around, the sofa could be used for sitting. Yes. Absolutely. So that's sort of the flexibility that I think is really very welcomed.
Right, and also it's nice to think of creating some kind of drama. It can be quite a dramatic place with colours, and also if you use lighting in the right way. I mean, there's nothing more romantic than a candlelit dinner.
Absolutely, and you shouldn't have to wait for guests. I mean, it's relatively easy. I mean, just you light a few candles, you bring the food in on a tray. It could be takeout food that's just been repackaged, and just put it out in beautiful dishes, and you can have a great dinner, even if it's you alone or if it's you with somebody. I mean, why not?
So in summary, I think we can say be a little bit flexible with the space and how you decorate. It can be multifunctional. and try and create a little bit of drama and also a sense of intimacy, and enjoy it.
And don't be intimidated by it. Don't feel that it's just this formal space only to be used on rare occasions. I'm Erwin.
And I'm Nicola. Thank you for watching Design to Share Q&A.
If you're wondering what to serve in a more formal dinner setting, try our wine to share recommendation, Charlie's Shard from Doghouse Wine in Santa Rosa, California. This fruity 2005 Chardonnay has caramel apple flavors complementing creamy textures. There's bright acidity and vanilla nuances to this perfectly balanced wine. We also like the fresh lemony and sweet citrusy aroma, a great way to say welcome and drink up to your dinner guests.
Go to their website at doghousewine.com and click on Robbie the Dog's entertaining guides to wine tasting and your palate. You'll learn a lot and hear Robbie's bark as well.
So make your next dining experience a real treat and try our wine to share, Doghouse Charlie's Shard 2005.